Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Full Throttle Remastered. Let's continue. We made it to this area. We didn't listen to the commentary though, so let's see what they have to say here.
Now this is the area where we were originally going to have the whole Ricky Myron section, right?
We were jumping over.
Yeah,
a gorge. We do have that here with the gorge. You can jump over.
No, but there was the stunt show and the whole Ricky Myron character stuff.
Ricky Myron, by the way, is the kid I went to. I was in 4th grade,
Oh, yeah?
and we're on the playground, and I had this rock, and for no reason at all, I want to see how high I could throw this rock in the air, and I threw it as high as I could, and it came down, and it hit Ricky Myron in the head. And he was like, "Why'd you do that?" And I was like, "You know what? Someday I'm gonna make you a star. I'm gonna
Put you in the game.
I'll make it out to you.
I'm going to put you in the game, and then I'm going to cut you out of the game.
Yeah. You're gonna be referenced, but you're gonna be a great daredevil.
Lots of interesting backstory because it was the stuff we cut. Remember, because the game was getting so huge, and we're like, we'll never finish this. And I think there was that and one other section. We were looking for stuff to cut, and everything was too interconnected to everything else. We're like, we can't cut anything except the Ricky Myron section. That's kind of its own piece.
So they say the game is too huge, but I would very much argue the problem with it is that it is got too many cutscenes and not enough conversation and dialogue. No audio commentary here. So
Professor Schmetterling's experimental flying suit.
We just heard this commentary. So get back on the bike. I think now that we've done what we needed to do, we can go back to the car crash, get the hover component. So we'll wait till we see a stop trigger, and then we'll get back on exit 4. Which the exits are numbered. Miners Road number 4. Real roads would have exit numbers for each exit you're getting on, but in this instance that's not how it's working. So I think you just use the tire iron, so you don't need any other vehicle or item. Maybe you could use any item on it, any weapon. Maybe you couldn't. Let's hit A and see if there's any commentary here. Nope, no commentary at all. I think that's all we needed.
A thing like that has only one use. The old mine run.
Yep. And get back in the car. And I think now, unless, I guess for just sanity's sake, we could go to the Mink Road and see if there's some kind of commentary or reason, something new to see or do, and then we'll come back and take the mine road, and it felt like we spent at least 10 to 20 minutes last recording doing the mine road. I don't want to have to spend another 10 to 20 minutes on it. And clearly you could have made the mink farm a much bigger puzzle with a lot more things in it.
I remember for Casey it was Tim Rankin.
We already have heard that one. And open the door. See if there's anything we can do. Wow, he's just slowly pacing, almost limping towards the door.
The barn's locked. The barn's locked.
Hmm.
I'm not putting my lips on that. The barn's locked. Open up, you minx.
So you never get in there. I can double click to fast travel apparently.
Velvet Underground just wouldn't work.
There's nothing more to this. So I think we just go back to the mine road. You never stop at the sign, which kind of stinks. That feels like that's something that you could have integrated into the make ranch, while also having some reason to rhyme there. It also wouldn't have been terrible if they had put the bar on the other side of the street of the make ranch, and then you would have had a more flushed out area that you return to. Let's see.
Shouldn't hit a man wearing glasses.
Do I perhaps need to actually learn about the ramp before I can convince the people to... I'm gonna try and kill people with the piece of wood. Maybe that'll get the cave fish to come out. Because we haven't even seen the guy with the accelerator system yet. And this control scheme is not great. This probably cost them a lot of money to program a control system in this engine to move the motorcycle back and forth. If you didn't have those elements. And it is mostly just clicking. Like pacing, clicking, and time. A little timing. And then now I'm mad audio. And driving over these dots doesn't trigger anything. That would have been kind of funny if there was some kind of pattern that only the cave fish with their glasses could see, where you drive over some dots and then you ignore other dots, and then that opens the cave. More gameplay could certainly have been put in the game through something like that.
Back again.
No health indicators, no indication whatsoever that what you're doing is right, or that you're succeeding and closer to victory than the other guy. You'd imagine there'd be a health bar and maybe even some regenerating health or stamina in modern games. I'm just taking out people left and right. And still not seeing the cave fish. So maybe I do need to exit next time. Still not seeing the guy with the accelerator bike. Maybe I have to wait and let these guys just try and take me out. See what their actions are. Like, it seems either the advanced gameplay is only really an improvement right in this scenario, or I missed something. So I'm gonna go all the way to the end and look at everything on the in that area where the jump will take place. And see, this would be the first part of the game where we've ever run into a scenario where you have to look at anything, really. Alright. But maybe.
It's a single hover lift unit. Looks okay for an aftermarket part. Something tells me the bridge is out.
Now this is the area where we were.
Yeah. So I can't jump the gorge.
Something tells me the bridge is out.
So we'll look at the bridge and see if there's skid marks where there might have been a ramp.
Something tells me the bridge is out.
We'll come look at the sign. And I'm really not sure if I'm just not seeing things because I didn't look at the sign, or if I'm just not seeing things because it was supposed to be random.
Ricky Myron's infamous gorge jump. One of the gorge's many casualties. This is the last picture ever taken of Professor Schneiderman. Notice, jumping the Cuyahoga Gorge, although tempting, is highly illegal and dangerous. We recommend the recently constructed Cuyahoga Gorge Bridge for transgorge travel. Drive safely. Tightrope walkers, hang gliders, human cannonballs. Many have tried to cross the mighty Cuyahoga Gorge, and many have failed, except for Ricky Myron, the Flying Torch, who jumped the gorge on a stock Corley motorcycle.
So I imagine this is the part
That he had modified his Corley.
that you needed to read.
Regulation destroyer class solid fuel recoil booster and an automotive hover lift. Myron said he would gladly replicate the jump to clear his name, but his special ramp was stolen by a mysterious truck hijacking motorcycle gang. Recoil booster and a hover lift, eh? Thanks for the tip, Rick. You're right, though. I'll need that ramp.
So, is this the same commentary?
This is the area where
Yes. So now, maybe I've triggered what I needed to happen. Which is, I need to fight a cave dweller biker and get his goggles, and I need to fight the unique biker and get his throttle or booster, whatever it is. So
You're gonna die now. Now I'm mad.
and it almost feels like it's a kind of rock paper scissors idea of a concept, but it really isn't. Certain things seem to work better though on certain people. Sometimes it feels like some of these would just die in one hit. One or two hits. Sadly, I may have to just play this game like over. Like maybe just wait and not record things. Because I don't want to spend yet another episode doing this stuff. See, I just don't know what I triggered that would have.
Now I'm mad. Freaky punk. This time you're gonna eat this, Charlie. You're gonna die now. Now I'm mad.
See, I'm thinking really hard to see if maybe there's some line of dialogue that we skipped in our efforts to speedrun. And see, if I was really a good speedrunner, which I'm not, I would know exactly what I need to do. I might just need to turn on the remastered gameplay, because this is not adding anything. You get into some weirdness on the male to female ratio, but I guess I applaud the game for having female bikers at all. Me dying doesn't seem to really change anything. Me succeeding doesn't seem like it really changes anything. It just really feels like I'm just in the randomness and the odds of randomly getting the thing you need. And see, I know that the entrance to the cave is at one of the exits from the last time I played the game, but I wouldn't be able to do that, use that until the goggles come into play.
Shouldn't hit a man wearing glasses.
Let's see, he's ducking. So there were strategies and ideas for every character.
Eat this, Charlie.
Like different arm lengths, different abilities. Do they duck? Do they not? But there's just been too many of this for this to be a reasonable amount of gameplay. So I've either failed to trigger something, or the game is just wacky. One more attempt. We'll wait and see what the next person is. But we should have seen the cave fish by now. We should have seen the guy with the boost by now. Alright. I've had enough. Let's come over here. Settings. Remastered gameplay on. That's what I'm thinking. We can't even save right now. And we'll just see if this decides to make the gameplay work a little bit smoother and linear instead of just randomized. Yes, immediately I get handed this guy.
Say there, is that a pre-regulation destroyer class solid fuel recoil booster you have there?
Why, yes it is. Ta-da!
And see, the first time it's just a cutscene. Like, this is really ridiculous. Was there some element that I was supposed to do to trigger him? I want to keep my distance. I don't want to get too high. And knock him when he gets his head upward. And that gets me the glasses. And I believe this is just going to be the speed guy again. So chain this guy. And one hit.
Gotta run.
That should have a couple of good boosts left in it.
So now, here's the question. What is the button to... There's no like mouse wheel or middle mouse click button, it seems. Like I wouldn't expect it to. So you right click and hold the right click. So it says exit in the lower left hand corner. We're just gonna wait till it says cave. So you're just sitting here looking at pretty much nothing. You're not even driving the motorcycle now. No commentary either. There's the cave. So I left click to get into the cave. Let's see if there's any commentary here. Nope. So skip another scene. There was really nothing in that scene. Skip another scene. There's no commentary here. There's nothing really in this scene. And
so I remember
The
when
hand delivered.
when we were in the end of QA and Tim decided to go play pool one night in San Francisco. This was before cell phones. And something came up and I had to find Tim and bring him back. I think it was for the bunnies. And because there was a bug that had to be fixed and we had to ship this game. And so all I knew was that Tim had gone to play pool in San Francisco.
Well, I didn't have any work to do. What was
Right.
I-
So you're
So
basically
I
thumbing through the yellow
called,
pages.
I had the phone book and I called every pool hall in San Francisco looking for this.
Makes me sound like a totally different person.
I
than
know. But he wasn't
Like every
in any.
juke joint.
He wasn't in any of them. So then I'm like, okay. So the last pool hall, I said, okay. So maybe he's in a bar with a pool table. Can you tell me the name of a bar that has a pool table? And he did. And then I looked that up and I called that. And then when he wasn't there, I just kept doing that until finally,
Kidding me?
finally, I found him in some bar with a pool table.
Oh my goodness.
And
It was a kilowatt.
when he picked up the bar phone, he was terrified because he was like, "How did you find me?"
Actually, I don't remember this. This is crazy. I can't believe you found me by calling random bars. It makes me sound way cooler than I am. Too. I like this. But what could I have done? I wasn't programmed.
I want to know how she described
Actually, I
you.
did program
Yeah,
for the bunnies.
It was something that you had to make a call on
It was
something.
my actual bug.
Yeah, it was either your bug or you had to make a decision right then and there as to what we're gonna
Bunnies
do
in
about
or
it.
out?
That's a bad dereliction. Well, distribution of power. Clearly, like, if one person could be missing for even a short amount of time, and somebody else isn't allowed to, at least for a temporary reason, make a decision. Ah, it's such a shame that you don't get in here and you don't get any story. And it's not like in any other of the LucasArts game there's any like idea or use of this. There's no interconnection. It's just this idea that's thrown out and then forgotten about. Alright. So now this time I need to disconnect
Stuff reeks.
the ramp and put it right here so we can pick off all the reflective turtles. So now the cavefish are, their goggles see the reflective turtle reflectors, and because we peeled off a bunch of them, they just go straight and off the edge.
I'm done with these boys.
Let's see if this commentary is the same.
This is the area where we were originally going to have the whole Ricky Myron section.
Nope, this is the same commentary. So we just need to now walk here. Actually, we need to get on a motorcycle and ride here, and then that will show us the cutscene that jumps, moving us into the third act. Speed running this second act kind of hard without the remapped gameplay, I guess. In fairness, we now know what remastered gameplay means, but I'm gonna turn it back off. That way we can also have an idea. And let's overwrite this. 51% of the game now has been played. So we'll see if there's anything else that needs remastered gameplay. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole using bunnies to get across the minefield section requires remastered gameplay too, to just make it reasonable
Modified my bike.
and less random. So you heard in the commentary they said this section was too long and they cut out elements because of that. That could be talking more about the animation production was taking too long than the actual gameplay itself being too long. But the one major factor that made Act 2 long is the randomness in the original release. And I'm glad, at least in this remastered version, you can play either with the new or the old graphics, but with the randomness taken out and it being more logical and realistic. I went through at least 30 people on that highway road and did not run into the 2 I needed to. And now we're getting into more of that post-apocalyptic settings and just kind of even a slightly out of tone area. We've gone from being this biker who was on the road, who went to a biker bar, who went to a dirt poor town with a salvage yard, to now this weird factory that doesn't quite connect, even though it is a motorcycle factory. There is also opportunity missed here for you to either do a puzzle or walk through the factory conveyor belts and construction areas to see how bikes are being automatically assembled or something like that.
Yeah, you remember how we got the rock and roll to sound so good in the game?
Oh, we just deliberately distorted it?
Yeah, we turned it up so that because of the low sample rate. We turned it up so it was about 50% too hot.
Clipping.
So it was clipping, so all the waveforms were being chopped.
Right.
For all you audio geeks out there, it's a real no-no. But it sounded. It was
good.
the best way to do it for that particular
Well,
sound.
since we're talking about Smush, which originated, I believe, with Rebel Assault, right? With Vince, in an earlier incarnation at least. And Vince liked to do everything himself, and we were a little miffed in the sound department because we found out that he had dubbed the Star Wars main theme himself using a boombox.
Right.
And the headphone output.
Right.
So, more geeky audio stuff, but basically a headphone signal is an amplified signal, right, to drive the headphones, and he put that right into the computer, to the Sound Blaster card, and sampled it. And it sounded really big and huge and over the top, and we said, Vince, let people do this who know how. So we couldn't get it to sound as good as he had it, no matter what we did. And then I finally realized the only way to get it to sound better, or even just a little better than what he had, was to deliberately clip it and overdrive the analog signal and overdrive everything.
Yeah, that's pretty bad way to do your audio. They were really in the realm where they should have still had MIDI music. The MPEG wouldn't have been around, not even like a MP1, let alone MP3. So, and Wave would have taken too much space. They could, since this was a CD game, have done it on CD audio, but they didn't probably have the engine. The Smush engine that they were using probably couldn't play CD audio at the same time as loading the game elements.
There was a local radio DJ named Alex Bennett who was a big fan of Day of the Tentacle. And he was a fan of ours. We got him to do the voice of the stadium announcer.
That's right.
That's Alex Bennett. He was like the Howard Stern before Howard Stern.
Yeah.
As I think he would say.
Didn't we get him to do some sort of PR thing on his show?
I got to go on the show and promote.
Oh, right.
Wasn't he at the
He was at the
He
rap
was
party.
at the rap party too, yeah. He was an institution in San Francisco radio.
Yes, he was.
KMEL and all these different stations.
Live 105, yeah.
105, yeah. He was a big deal, and he got his voice in the game.
It's getting weak.
Oh, great, you killed the battery. Buy your kids a bunny so they'll shut
So,
up and drive home.
we need to grab the bunny. So I think we have to. We lost all the weapons.
Buy something.
So we have to talk to Horace. And then grab the bunny when he's not looking. Let's see.
I'm looking for a good souvenir.
Well, good souvenirs is all I got. What can I fix you up with?
Let's see.
Bunnies, and plenty of them.
We do need the bunnies.
I got your bunnies. How much you got on you?
Can I just take them out for a test drive?
I think you may not be ready for the kind of commitment that comes with a Corley Bunny value pack. Sorry, son.
Those shirts come in extra large.
Am I not standing
Pretty shrunk.
No thanks.
in the right distance?
What do those pennants say on them?
Can't beat a Corley, they say. Kind of ironic, actually, considering how he died. Still, look great on your bedroom wall.
My walls. My bike is my home.
We could set you up with a little pole so you could make a flag, you know, for your back seat.
And see, this is more conversation.
How about that little car there?
It's small, but it's not cheap, my friend. You better just take it for a test drive to make sure.
Something small, furry, and yellow.
Sorry, this is the only set of teeth I got. Dang, there goes another one. Do you actually have any money?
As much as I need.
Let's see. Maybe I didn't need to talk to him.
All right, matey.
Or maybe I just didn't stand in the right area.
Got it, then it stinks.
Then you're in this
Pass the buck. You
section
know you want to.
that's just absolutely nothing. I'll be interested to see the remastered gameplay on the Crash Demolition Derby, come to think of it. That could go very bad very quickly. It went very bad even with the remastered gameplay. So we're at 54% now, and we're in the third act, but since the third act is kind of long and you have that whole Demolition Derby stuff, and there's a lot more than what you would expect. The steam really starts to let out once you get to the third act of this game. So much so that I kind of completely didn't remember any of it. Maybe I never even played Full Throttle to the end. But the parts that I do remember and do like stop after you jump the canyon. And I feel like the game could have easily stopped at that point, and there could have just been more gameplay before then. You wrap up the story, you jump the canyon, you get to the Corley Motors share meeting, you have the photos already, you expose them in a cutscene, and that's the end of that. Speaking of the end of that, that's the end of this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my video. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, gift me something on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good